This stone chamber in rural northeastern Connecticut was my first in-person experience with ceremonial stone landscapes. I grew up with a fascination with ancient cultures and stone constructions, and this place resonated with me immediately and deeply. I lived close to this site in the mid-1990s. I don't remember how I was made aware of it. It had a profound and lifelong effect on me. As a child, I was interested in ancient Egypt and Stonehenge, and by the 1990s, I was learning about Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, and Native American indigenous mythology and culture. The resemblance of this site to other global stone structures and potential uses, other than colonial, were obvious, and it struck me as a very ancient and spiritual place. It made a powerful impression on me that has lasted decades and has grown year after year. The local lore surrounding this place was common to other stone structures around New England. Perhaps this was a colonial, indigenous, or seafaring culture construction. It was even given and painted with an inaccurate name, like some other New England sites. I revisited this site about 5 years after I had moved away from the area with a VHS camera to document it. This structure is on private property, yet accessible and close to activity. My goal was to document the location because I perceived it as being potentially endangered. I realize that this video is frustrating at times because of the limitations of the technology and poor lighting and focus. I had never done anything like this and wasn't really prepared for a real survey. In fact, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a real survey. I haven't returned to the site since, and I don't know its current state, so I'm sharing this footage as a time capsule. By the time I returned 5 years later, the structure had noticeably settled due to the pressure of gravity, erosion, and encroaching tree and root growth. The site was still structurally sound and preserved at the time. There is a strong sense of the sacred feminine here. Using just my intuition, I remember a very ancient feeling to the surrounding woods. This is an L-shaped chamber, similar in construction to other New England stone structures. It is usually cool and dry and doesn't seem to have substantial leaking or flooding. Parts of the back wall seem to be slowly crumbling over time. I have no sense if the site is well known or how often it's visited that would impact its degradation. The walls go up vertically in a pretty straight line, with very slight corbelling or beehive shaping towards the top where the roof joins the walls. The roof is constructed of about 3 flat, large lintel stones. The construction is methodical and systematic. It has the appearance to my untrained eye that the stones were selected and placed in a sequential manner, as if there was a large pile of stones present at the time that were being selected from. I saw no graffiti or markings on the stones other than the painting above the door outside. There were no artifacts or refuse, and the site doesn't appear to have any significant vandalization. There is a reflective stone on the floor in line with the door that might catch the light as it enters. It was unclear if it was placed there intentionally to reflect a light source or if it had fallen from another location. To the right of the entrance, if you're standing and facing the entrance, is a circular hole about the width of a human finger that goes at least 3 inches deep. I didn't see any other corresponding holes near it or on the other side of the chamber. There are some trees on the roof that also surround the site, but it isn't very overgrown. To the left of the structure, if you're facing it from the outside, is an enclosed stone area with at least 2 walls on the right and back, and an open front with an indentation in the soil. At the time, I didn't give it much thought because I was unaware of other types of indigenous stone constructions. Continuing to the left of the exterior stone enclosure is a stone wall that extends along the ridge and terminates. Again, I didn't explore this wall much at the time for identifying features of construction, unique stones, or effigies because I mistakenly assumed it was a colonial construction. I hope you enjoy seeing this footage and it gives you the same sense of wonder as it gives me. And I hope that this site is still preserved and hopefully documented and studied in the future.